YouTubers, I'm coming to share with you how I crimp, or what you want to say, a braid out on this crochet braid style that I had done. The ombre, the backwards ombre is 1B at the back, 30 in the middle, and 30 in the middle and 27 on top. And what I've done so far, you might say I'm looking kind of crazy. I am. What I'm doing is braiding the sections, just big braids, as you guys can see. And I'm going to continue to do that over my whole head because I want like a tight crimp through my whole head. So I'm going to be putting plaits all over my head. And I'm going to come back in just a minute to share with you how I dip them in hot water. This is 100% Connect-A-Line hair. If you have not seen the whole video of the installation, please do. I hope that all of my subscribers look at that previous video, so you will be on, so we could be on the same page. Some of my subscribers asked me to show different ways that I style this hair. This one I'm just going to show you how I crimped it, and then maybe in another video I will just post just pictures, all the pictures that I wore my hair in different styles. So please stay tuned for the rest of this video. I'm just going to show you how I do this section, or this is how I'm doing the rest of my hair. I just poured off the how much I want. I make sure I get most people say it's a white girl brush with the bristles that can come straight through. I'm going to spray it with some oil sheen. The reason why I use oil sheen because it locks in the curl and it makes it real pretty and shiny. So once I put that in, rub it through, I'm going to separate it. And of course, if you know how to plait or braid or whatever you want to call it, you can do it all the way. I'm doing it all the way down to the end. After this style, I might just go ahead and straighten it back. Then I might do a twisted, like a wavy, maybe. I'm not sure, but I'm just showing you how I do it. I'm just going to braid it all the way down to the end. And once I get it pretty much close to the very, very tip, because I don't want to cut off the tips if I don't have to, but I'm going to braid it as close to the end as I can. And then I'm just going to grab a small rubber band, and I'm going to just secure that on the bottom. So once I dip it into the hot water, it does not unravel. So I'm just going to continue that all over my head, and then I'll come back to share with you guys the process on me dipping this hair, and also, of course, the end result. So please stay tuned for that. Okay, you guys, I've plaited my entire head, as you guys can see. And I already have my hot water put off inside the picture that I'm going to be using, as you can see, the little steam. And I'm just going to show you real quickly on how I do my hair. I make sure I fold my towel in half. I actually spray the actual braid that I'm going to be dipping. I'm going to spray it down really good. So I'm just going to spray these 3. I'm just going to show you guys maybe the first 2. Maybe the first one, so I can show you how it looks once I take it down. And I'm just going to take the braid. I'm going to go as far up the braid as I can. I'm just going to hold it on there for a couple of seconds. In my mind, I normally count to like 10, you know, a steady 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 10. I bring it out of the water and I dip it back in there again for 5. Then once I do that, I take the towel, go behind it, make sure it doesn't drip on my clothes or on my body. Then I'm just going to squeeze the excess water all the way down the entire braid. What I'm doing is moving the towel somewhere where it's completely dry, and I'm going to just continue that process. And I'm going to continue this through my whole head. I done dipped all of my braids all the way up to here. And I also added, I rolled them up on the end because I don't want them to be too straight. As you seen when I first dipped the first one, it was straight with the rubber band on it. So what I went through and took off the rubber bands after I dipped them all, went through and took off the rubber bands, rolled them on the end so they wouldn't be straight. And then I went back through and I dipped them again on the end. So I used a total of 3 cups of water, the tall cup that I showed you. And I did these, I did 3 in 1 cup of water, another 3 in 1 cup of water, and 2 in the last cup of water, and then I dipped them all on the ends in the same last cup of water. So I used a total of 3 cups of water to dip all of these. Most people will use the same cup of water since it was so big with all of them. So I just rather use 1 big cup because it's fresh, hot, steamy water on the first 3, on the second 3, and then the last 2, and then all the ends is just easier and more stain to make them lay down. So at this point, I'm going to be, this was the last one. I feel like a little steam still on my forehead, so I'm just going to squeeze that little bit more water out of it. And I'm going to take them down in the order that I dipped them so you guys can see. I'm going to spray more oil. And the reason why I spray so much oil is because it's to lock in the shine and also the crimp. So I'm just going to take these down. It has a little curl on the end, so they won't be so straight. And what I'm grabbing is just a random comb, and I'm going to just take them down. You can use your hands, but I choose to take them down with this because they lock in so tight from me using the hot water. So I'm just going to loosen up the end and take it down. And I'm going to do that, continue all the way out. I'm not doing anything different. And I know I didn't spray this one, but I'm going to spray it after. So I'm just going to continue this process over my whole head. Down all of the braids, and once I took them down, I like separate them, you know, did my little, you know, volume action push up. And I also sprayed it with my pink glosser. It smells so good, so please go out and buy this, and this is how it looks. And it smells so good. So I did that, and this is how it looks, wavy. And you can turn around so you can see the back. And for my edges, that's right here, what I did was just use some olive oil gel, and I mixed it with that brown gel. It was protein in both of them. So I just put that on my edges, and this is how I'm going to be rocking it. Wavy. So tell me what you guys think. Please rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And stay tuned for the next thing that I will be doing with this hair. And I hope you guys like. Thank you. See you guys later.